Hello everyone, Lawrence here from Unicorn Reviews, and this right here has been my go-to gaming mouse for the past couple of months now. So this is the Logitech G Pro Wireless, a professional grade wireless gaming mouse. But as you can see, I have my mouse that I've been using for a few months now. And then this week, Logitech sent me this box. And in this box, if we quickly unbox it here, you can first of all see there's yet another mouse in here. And while it is ambidextrous, I only have one gaming mouse hand and the other one's for my keyboard. So we'll have to find a new owner for this one at the end of the video. And then in here also is a cap and a Logitech flask to, represent Logitech G, I guess. So we'll give this stuff away at the end of the video. But first up, let's dive into an actual review of the G Pro Wireless. Now, the first thing you may notice with this mouse is its size. Now, for me, it's been a bit of an issue, and that's why I want to start with it, because I've been using a two mouse combination for the past few months. So whenever I'm doing non-gaming stuff, I've been using the MX Master because it's incredibly comfortable, and I can pretty much use this one for hours and hours and hours on end. But then for my gaming needs, I've been going to the G Pro Wireless, which is a lot lighter at only 80 grams. It's a lot, more accurate, way better response. But enough about that. We'll talk about it later. So first of all, as I already said, it's ambidextrous. So left-handed or right-handed, it'll work perfectly fine. Now, to keep it ambidextrous, Logitech has duplicated the side buttons. So if you're right-handed, you have your thumb buttons on the left side, and if you're left-handed, you have your thumb buttons on the right side. There's of course always the normal left and right click, along with a very well-defined scroll wheel. Now, while this is a full plastic mouse that's very light, it does feel rather high quality. It's a nice soft touch material. It doesn't stain or anything, or at least mine is still perfectly clean after a few months. So build quality is really good. And then in here is also some RGB illumination because, well, you can't really sell a product without RGB in 2018, 2019, so it has that. But anyway, I'm going to talk about the, in my opinion, most important aspect of this mouse, which is Logitech's Lightspeed technology. Now, Lightspeed is a new communication that Logitech uses to get incredibly low latency with wireless peripherals. So what that means is that the Pro Wireless is actually the same latency or better than most wired mice. Logitech has released a bunch of data, testing data about that some time ago. Linus did a really in-depth video on it as well. I personally don't have all the testing equipment, so I'll just take their word for it. But from anecdotal evidence, I can say that latency is incredibly good. Now, the next thing with wireless that may be a problem for people is battery life. Now, with this one, I'm getting 2 to 3 weeks of battery life when gaming. That said, I only game at a maximum 2-3 hours a day, and then for everything else, I use the MX Master, as I said. But it lasts about 2 weeks. And what's really nice is there is an LED battery life indicator, and it'll start flashing a red LED when the battery is nearly dead. However, when it's nearly dead, you still get about 6 hours of gaming time. So there's really no excuse to be in a game and suddenly have no more power on your battery. So that's up to you to keep it charged, but it's really not an issue, even though a lot of people make it out to be. I'm not using a wireless mouse because if I'm in the middle of a match and my battery dies, I'm screwed. Well, it gives you a little warning that the battery is almost dead so you can charge it. So just charge it when you have to. Some time ago, I also did a review on Logitech's PowerPlay technology. It's the mouse pad with the induction charging going on, so you can't possibly run out of power. And this mouse supports it as well. You just flip the little cover in here. There's a little magnetic cover, and then you can just put a PowerPlay cover in here, and it'll charge wirelessly on your mouse pad, which is really nice. Also in here is a bit of room so you can put the USB dongle for the Lightspeed receiver. So if you're traveling with this one, you'll always have the dongle with you and you can't lose it because it's inside the mouse. So that's really nice thinking from Logitech. Now, while it's not as revolutionary as ultra-low latency wireless communication or wireless charging, a sensor is still the most important aspect of a mouse. And Logitech, with this one, uses their new Hero sensor. It's a 16,000 DPI sensor, but you can set it all the way to 400 as well if you like that low DPI massive mouse arm movement sort of gaming. I'm personally not much of a fan of that, but you can set it to only 400 DPI. So again, I can't really test it. I'm not a Counter-Strike player either, but what I can say is that I found it to be incredibly accurate, very low latency, and there's no sort of acceleration going on. So even if you go with really fast moves, it'll track perfectly fine on most surfaces. Now, I've been using a SteelSeries mousepad over there behind me, but it also tracks on just my desk itself. Now, it's not as awesome as the MX Master in tracking on glass, for example, but most people won't really use it. So then to summarize the review of the Logitech G Pro Wireless, I really like it personally, but it's a bit too small for my hands, and that means I do use a different mouse for productivity work, just because the MX Master is a lot more comfortable than this one. But if you're like a claw grip type gamer, it's probably perfect for you, and it's super handy to carry around because the dongle fits inside and all that sort of stuff. So I would definitely recommend you buy it. However, why would you buy it if you can just get one for free? Right now, there's a new data protection law here in the EU. I can't be bothered to check it all out and make sure that I comply with everything. So the best way to do this is you just send an email to giveaway@unicorn.reviews. In the subject, you just say Logitech. And on Christmas Day, I'll see what emails I have, run a little random number generator and pick an email. And I'll contact you and send this mouse to you. I'll cover shipping and everything, regardless of where in the world you are. Anyway, for now, massive thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.